Could not be more excited about the fact that our countdown clock is back. 100 days until the kickoff of the college football season here in the state of Utah. 100 days from Utah and BYU squaring off at LaVell Edwards Stadium on August the 29th. 100 days. I love it. It's a great number, and then it just gets smaller and smaller from here. I put a poll question up, by the way, on my Twitter handle if you want to cast a vote on it. The next 100 days will ... Your two choices, fly by or feel like 1,000 days. And right now, 72% of you guys are saying it will feel like 1,000 days. 28% of you are saying it will fly by. I've never known it to fly by. But I think the next couple, like the next month kind of flies by. Where it feels like it slows down for me is when camp actually begins. I always feel like once like August 1st and this year July 31st hits, that it slows down even more because you just want that game to get going. But cast your vote on my poll question. The next 100 days will feel like what? And we'll go in that direction today. I threw another question out today, and I am curious to get your feedback on this. We don't know a lot about teams in college football until they play their first game. We have a good idea, but we don't know. You know, the NFL, we know. We kind of know what you're going to be because they play 4, which is way too many, preseason football games. So you get a look at guys, and you get a feel for things, and you kind of know how things are going to play out. College football is different, man. That first game is sometimes a real crapshoot. You just don't know what you're going to get. You think fall camp went well, but you haven't played in the game situation. So I threw a question up there today, and anybody can answer it. Any Utah fan, any BYU fan, whoever wants to answer it can answer it. But it's a simple question that's kind of open-ended that you can answer any way you want to. What do you expect to learn 100 days from today that you don't know right now? What do you expect to learn 100 days from today when Utah and BYU take the field that you're not quite sure you know right now? What do you expect to learn? We can't know for sure. But what do you expect to learn 100 days from today? Is it something about the status of a particular player? Is it a formation? Is it a position group? Is it an overall mindset? You tell me. It's open-ended. You guys can answer it any way you want, but I'm curious what your reaction would be to this. If I ask you the question, what do you expect to learn 100 days from today that you don't know right now? For me, I'm going to kind of keep it more big picture. I expect to learn that Utah's got a killer instinct and they're ready to go out and win a conference they've got the mindset to win a conference championship this year. That's what I expect to learn. Because I think Utah's much better than BYU. I think they were much better than BYU last year. But I think they didn't take BYU maybe as seriously early in that game as they should have. And it took a furious rally late. I think there was some look ahead on Utah's part maybe to the Pac-12 championship game. It's human nature. Stuff like that happens. 18 to 22-year-old dudes, some of whom aren't invested in the rivalry game, that can happen. Well, it's the first game of the year this year. There's no looking ahead. Nobody's looking ahead to Northern Illinois the next week or Idaho State the week after that. And nobody looks ahead to the first conference game, which is almost a month later. So all eyes and attention for at least Utah will be squarely on the BYU Cougars. I think this could be a very big year for Utah. I predict that they're going to win the Pac-12 conference. They're the favorite for me. And when that ballot comes to me in my email in another couple of weeks that I have to send to the Pac-12 office, I'm writing Utah wins the South and Utah wins the Pac-12 championship game. That's how confident I am in what Utah does. But to me, Utah can send a message and set a tone in that very first game. And you go out and you beat a BYU team that's solid, but I don't think they're spectacular. They've got a soon-to-be sophomore quarterback coming off of shoulder surgery. They don't have any guaranteed weapons for that guy to throw to or hand the ball off to. Their defense is solid, but again, not spectacular. Who's that unbelievable playmaker on the BYU defense you would point to? There isn't one. They've, again, good players, but this is not on paper, Utah's a definitive favorite here. But can they come out and do it in the first game? I expect if everybody comes into this season at Utah with a championship mindset, not just getting over that hump and winning the South, go back to the years. Go back to 2004. The last time Utah will have had this much hype coming into a season was 2004. They were a consensus preseason number 20 pick. That team had a lot of swagger, and that team took no prisoners. Urban Meyer and Kyle Whittingham and Dan Mullen and that crew destroyed people. They were talented, and they destroyed people. That was a veteran team, too. And a lot of upperclassmen on that team with a lot of experience. And that's what Utah's got this year.